Back to another episode of the Attention Economy. Today we're interviewing Sergio Armendariz, founder of Pray Crew. Sergio is a former youth pastor and a father of three, and founded Pray Crew to help bring communities together through faith and prayer.
It's a place where people can follow up and say, hey, how things are going, how are you doing? And every time that you pray for someone, they receive that notification of Sergio just prayed for you, Melissa just prayed for you, Needy just prayed for you. And that's the whole concept. And that's the reason, the way.
Yeah, I love that. I love how this whole mission is built off of intentionality. I feel like that's something many ideas kind of lack nowadays. And obviously, your origin has a lot to do with this. Your background heavily inspired Pray Crew, I can tell. So, before founding Pray Crew, you served as a youth pastor. What experiences, if there are like any specific ones, led you to realize that there was a need for a platform like Play Crew or Pray Crew? Sorry.
No, don't worry. There is one story that I like to share. That I always have troubles with this word. Exemplifies Pray Crew. And I'm going to change the name of the person. Just I have to keep it confidential. But I'm going to use the name James. So James, 2 years ago, he was diagnosed with cancer, prostate cancer. And cancer, it's a situation in life that changes everything. And it's a moment where people tend to isolate. And because it's something that it doesn't have a real explanation. Even with the whole technology that we have today, cancer is one of those disease that there's not a lot of explanation. There's a lot of research and a lot of things that are going through that, but it's a situation in life that people tends to isolate. And this person that was diagnosed with cancer, it is very interesting how their family, this situation helped them unite more as a family. As he's the father of seven, and the seven of them, they were able to join in prayer. They were fasting, and it was very interesting that through some bad news, they were able to join. And through Pray Crew, they were receiving. There were James that went through the chemio and everything. They were using Pray Crew basically to, every time that they were praying for him, he received a notification. They knew when he was going through the chemio, and basically he was able to receive those notifications. And it just exemplifies how faith it's developed with consistency. There's I love the real motivation lasts only a few days, but when you create consistency, then builds your character. And if you're able to build your character, then you're able to fight and just believe what your situation. So the fact that it was not just a one-time someone prayed for him, we believe that he can be healed, and then that's it. It was a series of acts that people were praying together, and he, by the grace of God, today he's cancer-free. And it really resonates to the purpose of Pray Crew, because we want communities, families, groups, churches, any type of group to be able to build faith together through the consistency of prayer. And there is a research that says that people that get diagnosed with cancer and go through chemo, they have higher chances of beating cancer, being cancer-free, if they are with family, if they are with their family members, and if they go through it alone, their chances are lower. Um, so it was very interesting story that ties to the purpose of prayer.
Yeah, I love that. Especially congratulations to James, we'll call him, for being cancer free. That's incredible. And it really, I think that story really just goes to show how faith is such a powerful, I guess, not feeling, but it's a powerful force in communities. It brings people together, which really brings me to the next question, which is what specific problem were you trying to solve with Pray Crew? Was it about making prayer more like accessible? Was it about strengthening community, like you just mentioned, how faith brings people together? Or was it just something else entirely?
Yeah, I think you just mentioned it. It's bringing community together. We live in a society. We live in a society, and I'm part of the society that we are. Where social media, it's so powerful, but it's a place where instead of joining us together, really sets us apart. Where it's a easy place where you can compare yourself and you can say, "Oh, I don't have what this person has." And yes, it helps for a lot of things, but it also hurts for more things than what it's helping. So the whole reason of Breaker is not a social media. Just from that, it's not a social media. It's just a tool to help communities to develop their faith, and it's an easy place where we can remember the goodness of God. It's very easy to forget how good God is in our lives through the years, because we're humans and we just tend to forget. I tend to forget. By now, I don't actually don't remember the things that I was praying on January, and it's just half of the year. But it's a nice place to just be able to record my personal prayers and the group prayers, and I can remember that goodness of God, and I can build my faith, and I can remember that if God was good yesterday, He will be good again today, and He will be good again tomorrow.
For sure, and I think it's very powerful. I think another thing social media does is it has this tendency to promote like what's called, what I like to call at least, like outrage media. It gives you like these like very outrageous headlines. It's very easy to foster, I think, pessimism in the age of social media and what is called like an interconnected world. And like on that note, it's like technology is often criticized for making people feel very disconnected. And I think as someone who has grown up with it, I definitely see those effects. So, how do you approach designing an app that's meant to deepen relationships through faith rather than replace them? Especially now that, like, in the age of AI, people have even been forming relationships with, like, chatbots, which is really an interesting subject to broach. But yeah, how do you kind of just approach, I guess, faith based technology that's meant to bring people together?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the whole approach is we wanted to the whole concept, and I'll be completely transparent. Uh, 3 years ago, that's when I got. I like to wake up very early in the mornings, and that's when I like to exercise, and it's my time of where I read the word and I pray. And during my time of prayer, it was February 2023 or four. I don't remember, but it was. I have this dream, vision, something, and all I remember is the functionality of Precure. I don't remember colors. I don't remember the name. I don't remember specifics. All I remember was the functionality. And to be honest, I just decided to just to make it happen. Because after I talked to several, I remember talking to my parents and saying, "Hey, what do you think about this idea?" And they were very excited. They were like, "Oh yeah, we love it." And then I said, "Well, it's my parents. They were going to support whatever I say. I need to talk to more people." So that's how I did my research. I talked to more people, and the whole to answer your question, how do we design a community based app? And that's well, first of all, it was a lot of prayer around that. It's how can we build something that it's to the whole purpose is to bring glory to God, and to just again, it's just a tool. It's not like people get miracles because of the app. It's just a place where people record their prayers. I remember a person, a pastor, used to say, "How do you know a person if you know their need? And how do you know their need if you know their prayer request?" So if you think about it, Pray Crew, it's recording something that it's more personal than just social media. Social media, I can fake it and I can say I feel great when really I'm alone and I'm on anxiety and I'm depressed. But I can fake it and I can just post nice pictures of me smiling. And thanks to AI, I can just change them and make me look like this tough guy and look very handsome. When reality, it's very different. But the whole concept of breakthrough, it's a place where you can be transparent and you can join. The whole purpose, it's not to be on a group that has thousands of people. It's a place where you can be with your small group, the people that you're doing life together, and you can be open about it and say, "Hey, I'm dealing with loneliness, and I'm dealing with this problem, and I don't feel good about it. And you know what? Today, I just need support." And that's the whole concept. We wanted something that where people can actually open, and we can be transparent and not just fake it. They say fake it till you make it. Where you don't just fake it, you just be open and you just be transparent, because that's the whole concept of Christianity, and that's the whole concept of following Jesus. It's that you need to be vulnerable and you need to be open, and you need to share things with group, and that's the way that we can progress, and that's how we went about it.
Yeah, for sure. And it definitely sounds like, I mean, of course, correct me at any time if I'm wrong, but I feel like Prey Crew is kind of the antithesis of what ideals are kind of promoted on like social media. As you said, like social media often teaches us to present like a false image of ourselves, but what Prey Crew does is it teaches us to be more authentic and open. And I do wonder, like, I wonder if people have actually been using it for exactly that purpose. Like, have you noticed anything surprising about how people are using Prey Crew compared to what you originally expected?
If they're using it to something different than what I expected, I think it's something is very interesting. People, it's that the first prayer requests that the people submit are going to be for physical health. Um, and as people use it, and as you see your community it's supporting you, then people start opening up on, "Hey, I'm dealing with anxiety, and now I'm dealing with stress, and hey, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep my job. I need and people start opening. But it's very interesting that the first prayer, and it's not the same for everyone, but for the majority of people, the first prayer that you share with a group is going to be physical health. "Hey, I need I feel, I don't know, like a cold or something." But people start with something that it's physical, just physical health, and then as they see that support and they see that you actually have a community that is supporting you and it's helping you and it's praying with you, then people start really opening up on things that are, I call them deeper, on our hearts.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I didn't know what exactly people were going to pray for first, but yeah, and on a different note, I think a lot of apps are designed to like maximize screen time and keep users engaged for as long as possible. And I think especially like with our reduced attention spans. And it seems like Precrew doesn't exactly utilize the traditional methods that would usually keep people engaged for longer. So I guess what I'm trying to ask is, did building a faith-based app kind of change the way you think about attention and engagement, especially because prayer is a very like focused activity. It teaches us a form of mindfulness.
Yes. My our whole goal, it's not creating. I don't want people spending the whole time on the app. We want to point people into uh, towards God, and that's all we want. It's just a tool that helps you care for your community, and also just like I use it as my checklist on every day as I go through my prayer time. It's I remember the things that I need to pray for, and it's really just a tool, and that's the whole concept. We want it to be a tool where people can care for one another, and our whole goal and purpose is to point people towards God. I don't want to keep attention. I don't want to keep like even I earlier I got, I mean, it's a little bit not related, but I got questions on, oh, are you going to have ads on the app? And that's like, well, typically that's how apps work, right? You have ads, and we have strong stance on that. But no, we don't have ads because we're not promoting. That's not what we're promoting. It's the whole concept. It's a different concept. So yeah.
But yeah, I really appreciate the answer. I think the concept of like having a focused activity that's not really meant to like keep you on for like very long periods of time. Like I know I myself have I think fallen victim for the traditional like keep users on the app kind of techniques. And I do appreciate that there are apps like this one who that I mean that promote like mindfulness, I think over engagement. And especially because like Prey Crew is a more like I don't especially it's a more type of like unconventional app based on I mean at least it diverges from I think a large amount of trends that we've seen today, especially apps that are again like meant to keep you scrolling. So I guess what was the biggest challenge in going from when Prey Crew was just a concept to making it a product that people were enthusiastic about using?
Yeah. Well, I have to start saying 10 years ago, I made the decision to disappear from the internet. I do not have social media. I was Google proof for many years until Breaker. So now if you Google me, you're gonna find me. But I had it cost me. It was not an easy decision to say I'm gonna stay away from social media, and it was because I wanted to keep attention on the things that matter, and I don't have anything against social media apps, or I don't have anything against people that uses social media, but it was a personal decision that I made on. It's more important for me to keep the eyes on the prize that to just lose myself on the apps on social media because I used to for many years. So it was very interesting because I haven't used social media. I've been in the technology world for many years, but it was very interesting on doing research on what type of app people like to use and what type of I don't know design of the buttons and what you have. And to be honest, it was not all me. I was able to have a team. I have a team that helps on that. But the whole time we want to keep in mind that we are a tool that helps connect people and be intentional with one another. That's always has been what it how we design, having that sentence on our heads every time. It's basically just we have that, and that's how we design because we realize that all we are, it's just a tool. We're not the tool that I don't. I hope. I pray that one day I have billions of people using it, but the whole purpose is it's not that. It's not. I really not after the numbers. I really more after the intentionality on our users. We want to make sure that our users are intentional with one another.
Yeah, and I think, as you mentioned, I think the whole core of this is making sure people are intentional with one another. And I think that is something that I know you hope to keep developing over the next few years as long as Prey Crew is active. So I think looking ahead, how do you hope technology will shape faith-based communities over like the next few years, decade, or like the near future, essentially?
Question. I think it's very interesting times how technology is evolving and changing so fast. It's incredible how generate and if you look at technology today, it's drastically different, and there's a lot of improvements. And there is a video of a famous person eating spaghetti, and it's very interesting to see it how they have developed it through the years, and how today it's like extremely realistic. And I think the use of AI and technology, it's gonna depend. It's gonna be uh, needs to be shaped by people that have values and that want to make a difference. Because technology that we have access today can be easily uh, used towards something that is not correct. So I always say I think there's an important mission and important to spread the word and to ensure that the people that are developing technology, they're aware of the whole, like, they they have good values. And when I say good values, my hope is that people leading technology, it's people with faith. And I think that's going to be the answer.
Yeah. And I think faith is such a distinctly human thing, right? It's something that machines cannot replicate, or at least if they try, it fails miserably. And it leads us into the AI conversation, especially. I think in the last few years, especially like you talked about, like the Kevin Farrell spaghetti video, it's crazy how much that has progressed. I think in 2021 or so, if I'm remembering correctly, it was not realistic at all. You could tell it was made by a machine. And I think in 2023 or 2024, barely just a few years later, I think you could still tell it was AI, but most of like the typical, I guess, telltale signs that it is fake had disappeared, which is like, if it's progressing at that much of an exponential rate, it's like no one can really tell what's coming next, which leads me to this question. As AI becomes more integrated into everyday technology, do you see it playing any role in faith based communities, or are there parts of faith that should remain distinctly human in which, like, technology should not play a role in?
I think in the end, faith it's a human thing. Faith is something that we believe. Faith is believing in what we cannot see. That's the definition of faith. And faith is something that it's completely us humans. Technology is just helping us on bridging the gap of how we can make it more accessible. How can we make faith more accessible to more people? But in the end, faith it's up to us humans, and it's easy to be misinformed, and it's easy to probably stop reading. For example, I see it like it's easy to stop reading the word and just asking whatever AI platforms everyone uses, Claude, ChatGPT. It's easy to just ask them, "Hey, I have this question. What does the Bible says about it?" And that's where it gets tricky. And I know there's big conversations going around those topics, but in the end, it's up to us humans to remember and just truly read our Bibles. It's um, not just asking chat. I mean, we all want shortcuts because shortcuts, we think we can get there faster, But reality, it's that shortcuts, it's not gonna get you there faster. Um, Knowing the word and knowing what you believe, it's very important. That will never replace. There's no technology that can replace that. I mean, I wish there was a technology that I can touch something and I just instantly have the knowledge of that book. Uh, it's not going to happen. Yes, AI help us today, makes big summaries, and but still, that summary, it's you human, your mind. If you read that, you're gonna get a different type of knowledge than if AI gives you a summary. So it's important that we truly educate ourselves on faith and what we believe, and we truly know what we believe. And that's the only way to do that is reading and making sure that we read our Bibles.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I think, and especially like I know maybe a few years ago. I mean, I know you said that like the idea for Pray Crew started a few years ago, but I know if you looked like way back into the past, you might not have seen yourself building Pray Crew today. And I know there are lots of students like me who want to build technology that also like deepens connections and improves people's lives. Especially, I think there was a finding from the Surgeon General of 2021 under Biden's term that found that my generation, Gen Z, is actually the loneliest generation. And I think faith is one of the things that combats that, because its focus is so heavily on human connection. So, if you could give one piece of advice to students who want to build technology that improves people's lives, much like yours does, what would it be?
My advice, it is first of all, pray about it. Like like but I will say first look for the problem. Don't look for a solution. Look for a problem. What problem are you trying to solve? And I recently heard someone, there's a salesperson that talks about it, and he says, I like to build. I'm not a good salesperson. I'm a good product builder. And the way that I'm quoting this person, the way that I build products, I look at starving audiences. What are they hurting? What do they want? If I know what they want, and I will just build a product that they want, then it's gonna be very easy to sell because the crowd is already asking for it. And don't try to sell to the masses. Social media created a huge problem because 500, now we look at 500, it's like, oh, that's nothing. Everyone's looking for the millions and probably the billions, and everyone's looking for the masses. But reality is that you need to look for something for your niche. I remember when we first got 500 users on the app, and I was it was my wife, and I was like, well, it's only 500, and she's like, are you kidding me? 500? Like, fill a place with five. Like, go and talk to a room full of 500 people. That's a lot of people. It was like it's a lot of people. So I would say don't get your mind towards the masses. You're not gonna get there. Build the product first. Look for a solution. What are you trying to solve? And then from there, build a product for the niche. And if you build something for your niche, like truly define your niche, then you're gonna be able to build something successful. I will use Facebook. Facebook at the beginning was built for universities. It was not built for the masses. It was built for question. Maybe do you have a Facebook account?
I do not. My parents do.
You're not right. All right, good. That's where I don't have either. But that's how it started. But it started as something that it was designed for the universities, and then it got massively used by the entire world until your generation that it's not using it anymore. And I'm glad. I'm very happy that you're not using it. That's very good. That's very good. But yes, my advice is just look for don't go out and build a product. Go out and see what problems are you trying to solve, and based on that problem, go and create a product.
Yeah, and I think, as you mentioned, it's so easy to forget that progress is usually like slow rather than fast. I mean, even if you go on like LinkedIn, it's so easy to get caught up in like huge results that people are delivering. You don't even know how much of it is real. And I think especially in philanthropic work, which like you work in, I think results are harder to come by in a quantitative measure at least, but I think it's important to remember that even one life changed is an incredibly meaningful result, and progress usually is slower, but it's there. And I think that's a really nice note to end on because that's all I had for you today. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you so much for having me. I really enjoy the conversation. And once again, thank you for trusting me and to be part of your of the program.
Thank you so much. Yeah.